nothing but a shit show. And if you don't give a fuck what people say, you're better off, really. If I gave a fuck what people thought about me, Jesus Christ. Do it. Let's fucking wrestle. Fuck you and your goddamn 4 tits. I will poke your fucking tits out. I will bash you in the head, and I will, I'll bring you down the street, bitch. Let's fight. Maybe that's why I got told no a lot. Maybe that's why I didn't get the big money or anything like that, because I basically told everyone to fuck off. Listen, asshole. Oh my God. Listen, asshole. And your fucking Yankees that are losing. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Paving the Way podcast, TV show, fucking whatever you want to call it. But it's not a shit show because it's my show and it's this guy's show.
Oh, it's a shit show, ma'am. Ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am. If I may.
Ma'am.
Ma'am. It's definitely going to be a shit show because we're talking about Johnny Ace tonight. But let's not jump the shark. So, Juice, what have you been doing? We haven't gotten together for a while, and it's almost heartbreaking that we don't do this as regularly as we normally do.
No, we don't. When we should, but you're always busy selling cars and making millions of dollars. So
we had a big month last month. Biggest month in the finance department.
Really? Wow. Month. Well, you're stealing all these people's money while we're going to probably go into a recession. So you should feel really good about yourself, a-hole.
See, the car business is basically the second most expensive thing most people will ever buy. I can dispense second most expensive. The first being
I don't know. It's a toss up between a Harley and a car.
Yeah. So the first being the house. Typically, your house is the most expensive thing you buy. The second thing is your automobile. Now, There are people with very nice jewelry. There are people with very nice, like, beach houses and lake houses that are not their, quote, family home. There are people with nice boats. Get that. But the common person, house, car, most expensive things. So we sell the high luxury, the high-end luxury, if you will, as I'm watching my man Aaron Judge swing at a 98-mile-hour fastball and miss.
My God, here he is talking about balls again.
There we go. Why do you think we like baseball so much? Got shafts, got balls. You got to hit it rock hard. You got pitchers.
You sound like you have your own show.
You can play deep center field. I mean, come on, lady.
Whoa.
Wow. Anyway, with the car business, I am more than happy to dispense advice to anybody. My advice now is we don't know what the government is going to do. The interest rates are not going up. And he just got polled on what he thought was
we're done listening to you. So anyway, welcome to Paving the Way and this week's show. We have a great lineup, and I want to thank everybody for being here, showing up. I didn't put anything out on social media, so you guys that have your little subscription, little bell, reminder, hopefully it's dinging you and letting you know that we are live. We're live on YouTube and our Twitch channel, and I believe that's it. Is that right?
Yes, we are live on YouTube, X, and Twitch, all Madusa's channels. Madusa rocks.
Madusa rocks. Woo. Madusa rocks. So I'm going to rock your world tonight because I have a really huge, large, loud opinion on a few things. Just strictly my opinion. And I know that this is, Red and I will probably get into it tonight about a thing or two, but I've got to let my hair down. Not really. I'm going to leave it up, but the bitch is going to fall. First of all, I just want to talk about a couple of the events coming up. I'll be at the gathering and also what was the other one in Sevierville? Oh, hail fire.
The one in Sevierville, I forget, but you will be at the National Wrestling Hall of Fame, Waterloo, Iowa, being inducted for the Lou Thez Award. That is in July. In August, we will be getting together in person, confirmed a couple friends are coming too. It'll be great. Hopefully I can introduce you.
You have to bring some people. You don't feel like you feel scared. You can't meet me alone for the first time.
Madusa, it's a wrestling convention. These are wrestling friends, and they
You're
become my
bringing
best friend. They're meeting me. So
no, you're meeting me. They come second. Remember how we planned this?
We did plan this, and they are
you
aware.
Are mine. You're gonna be my bitch. That's it.
They're aware of that fact because.
Okay, well, no, I'll be happy to meet them right on out the fucking back door. Anyway, so the gathering, the 6th. I think it's the 6th. The gathering 6.
The gathering 6, August 31st or July 31st, August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Not that I'm going to be there all those days, just one of them days. So
Charlotte, North Carolina, University Place. Come see Madusa Saturday, I believe August the 2nd, for a
You'll
10
even
to
get
2,
to see Red.
10 to 2 meet and greet. I will take your picture with the Queen of Carnage and talk shit to you the whole time while I do it, because that's what we do around here.
Digi's right too. I will put you to work. Just beware of the chicken fingers, because you'll have to hold my chicken fingers and you end up eating half, and then I'll take a bite and give it back to you. It's a really perfect. It's a perfect.
Do you eat grilled chicken tenders, ma'am, or do you put the breading on them? Because you look like a grilled chicken tender.
I am a grilled chicken eater, but goddamn, when you're out and about, I'll take all that breading I can, because I don't get it here. I'm like a closet bred chicken chick out on the damn road. So yeah, anyway, so and then on October 3rd and 4th, which I think it's just the 3rd, which would be Friday, I'll be at Black Harvest 20, and that's with Kenzie Page, your NWA women's champion, will be there, and her sister. It looks like a bunch of the NWA folks will be there. That's interesting. Interesting. So that'll be a lot of fun. I don't know exactly what I'm doing there. I might just be signing autographs, but I might referee as well. So nothing is confirmed on that as far as refereeing, but the rest of the stuff I will be there signing. Let's the Woman Who Would Be King is available underneath my hats. Yes, the Woman Who Would Be King.
Also available.
Yes, these hats will be. Hey, we're almost done with our website stuff. So I know we were supposed to have an auction, but we haven't had it yet. Lots of shit. Let me tell you, I didn't realize how much crap is on my website. But anyway, you got 2 of these, 2 new hats that'll be going up there. They'll be ready for purchase as well. And then, of course, you got the Woman Who Would Be King. You can order that on Amazon, or you can get the audio book, whatever you want to do. You get to hear my voice. Probably cuss just as much on the audio. Yes.
We don't have spare jars around here. We have 5-gallon buckets just for.
And Power Town. No idea. Fucking have no idea. China. Yeah. We're just going to go China. And then same with my WWE figure. China.
The Mattel figure jacked up because of China too?
Yep. China. I got a letter from them too. Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Magnum is about to go learn Chinese, and he's going to straighten them people out.
Is that what's going to happen?
Well, maybe. I don't know. TA don't take a whole lot of shit, Deuce.
He don't? Magnum doesn't?
Magnum don't take a whole lot of shit, no. But I don't know.
No. I love him. I mean, him and I have been doing business together, and it's just straight up. I was very frank with him, though, and I said, look, you let the world know without the people that actually bought those damn dolls. I even bought my own doll through Powertown. And you didn't even send the people that purchased an email to let us know. It's bullshit, I told him. Anyway, he apologized and said, yes, all of you should have got an email. And then, weeks later, we got an email. All right. So we're going to talk about, also, don't forget Twitch. That's on Thursdays at 8. That'll be tomorrow with my Mad Mod Squad.
Most of which are here. Welcome Morty to the show. Digi's here. I saw Winter. Sassy's here.
Fucking Winter's here.
She spends a lot of time in the with the Mad Mods. I see Deadpool's here. Deadpool says evening all. And Digi says, Red, don't take my job. Probably not. I hate wrestling. like Madusa. So
I hate wrestling.
If you do not wear deodorant, brush
Cassie's
your teeth,
here too,
and wear cologne, I will not let you near the Queen of Carnage.
Hold on a second.
I'm just saying.
No, I didn't wear deodorant today either. So
yeah, Lolly is here. That's disgusting. Lolly is here, and like I said, if you don't take care of your personal hygiene, I will not let you near Madusa, because I have to ride in the car with her to the airport, and my car is a Toyota Supra, and I will not be allowing the stench of wrestling fans who don't.
I'm going to wipe my pits all over his fucking seats.
You will do nothing of the kind.
Yes, I will, because either you take your shoes and socks off, or else I will do that. So
I just washed that car today too, by the way.
Okay, great. Well, fabulous. You're a month and a half too early, so
it's going to rain tomorrow. I don't care.
All right, so we're going to talk about WWE releases, wrestling and social media, and Money in the Bank. So, but there's no AEW stuff here, but I want to talk about the AEW women's match with the tag team, where I think Harley, what's her name, they busted open her nose, and fucking Bully Ray went off and said, "This is horrible. Why does the AEW do this to the women?" And I sent it to you, and I said, from what I see and the clips, that they were showing, I wish I would have seen the whole match, but I'm going to have to say that match looked decent. So somebody please tell me something otherwise on those 4 girls where she busted open her nose and whatnot. But I think that from what I saw, it could have been a good match. So guys, when you see something that's halfway decent, just because it's AEW or WWE or TNA or whatever, just because of whatever, if it's good, say it. Grow some kahunas. Who gives a shit? It's what you feel and think, right? It absolutely was decent. Thank you. Yes. See, that's good. And so I praise those girls for working their ass off. It looked like like what they put together and the timing, and for those girls, to have a match like that, it looked like it was in sync. So I was really happy to see that. So I'm going to say kudos to those girls in that match. Can someone give me the names of all 4 girls that were in that match?
I would imagine it was Penelope Ford, Megan Bain versus Anna Jay, Harley Cameron.
Yes,
if I don't have that correct, somebody correct me. All athletic blondes. 3 of the 4 can wrestle. So there you go.
So which one, according to you, can't wrestle?
Well,
No, Mercedes is not in there.
Oh God. So don't get me started on Mercedes, because last night I was listening to another show on YouTube, Brass Ring Media. Shout out to Zach Haydorn and Tyler Sage. And Tyler is sucking off the AEW pretty strong these days.
Oh,
and I would tell him to face that, because he said the AEW women's division is the best in wrestling. And I'm like, what the fuck are you watching? Because yes, they have Mercedes and Tony at the top. But for those of you playing along at home, Mariah May is NXT. The Glamour made her debut last night, largely thanks to Toni Storm making her such a big star.
Yes.
But you've seen Roxanne Perez up, Stephanie Valkyr officially up, interaction with Rhea Ripley. When she hits that move on Rhea Ripley at Money in the Bank, I know we're going to talk about Money in the Bank. When Valkyr does her little face thing to Mommy on Saturday,
I call it the labia punch.
The crowd is going to go wild. This is going to be like Stone Cold 1998, making it so Mick Foley, or 99, wins the world title.
The labia punch.
The labia punch by Stephanie Valkyr. And Booker T is going to go so crazy.
And then Sharmell would be in the back with the fucking iron skillet.
Yeah. So
that's some good stuff right there. But I heard, though, Mariah May's name, Shane Helmsley, or what's his name? Shane Helms,
the Hurricane. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone asked, what should her name be? He thinks it should be Jennifer June. I'm like, that's about as bad as Jace fucking Hero.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not good. Now, Hurricane is a big time agent in WWE, and he is what in the world, these people? I'm reading your comments. But anyway, where were we? Oh yes, the women's match.
So we're going to talk about AEW women since you don't have it on there. So I'm just going to talk about it. The next thing I want to talk about AEW women's, I'm just going to give all four of them praise. I'm going to jump over to Thunder Rosa. She made a comment here lately about, what do I got to do? Show my tits? I'm like, God, woman, please don't. I don't mean it like because they're bad. I mean, no, you don't have to do that. But I think she's frustrated. And there was I don't know. She's frustrated with the booking. Everyone that's getting pushed and, has tits and ass wiggling everywhere, I guess. And she's very disappointed. And I don't understand why she isn't probably one of the top leading girls over there and why she's not being pushed. So I don't know. I'm a Thunder girl, but I love the girls that just fight hard. I'm a Tessa Blanchard fan. I'm a fucking Thunder Rosa fan. You know what I mean? And so I don't know what the thing is. But anyway, so kudos to her voicing her opinion. And what does she got to do? Show her tits to get pushed in AEW. So that's interesting. In back to the girls 4-way match or tag match there. Bully put it out there. You guys can quote me. I think you guys can find it on social media, but he quoted, like, he goes, "Who the hell are these bookers? Who are the writers? They're pieces of shit. Who wrote something like this? No one should let a writer do this." And he was just going off on the girls and I was like, goddamn, Bully. I thought it was halfway decent. So, it is what it is over there. Okay. Now we can get into some WWE releases. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. We can go straight into R-Truth. And I just he's a nice guy and he's entertaining and he's been around for a while. How long do you think he's been with WWE?
17 years.
At least, yeah.
I know that for a fact. It was 17 years.
Okay. So he's been there he's a staple, just like Natty. So, and they both been around there a long time. If you keep looking at that fucking baseball game, I'm going to make you like suck your own nuts there in a minute, Red. You're watching that game. Listen, you bonehead. Anyway, so, yeah. So there's that. Get your ass back up here.
I'm right here. So
yeah, okay. You're watching the fucking game.
So Madusa has hijacked it, which is why I've been watching the game. Listen. Ron Killings, R-Truth, is by far one of the most entertaining people in wrestling. Wrestling is not just about in-ring work. As I say that,
it helps because that's what it is.
Badass woman, but what else helps Madusa is being able to hold the audience, keep their interest, entertain them, make them laugh, give them a reason to come buy tickets. The dude got little Jimmy, the Invisible Man, over during his run with Cena in 2010 or 11. Highly entertaining. And by the way, since you love the NWA so much, and we're going to talk about the worst NWA champion here in a little bit, Tyrus, he sucked.
Let's talk about, you don't have to go there.
Oh, I will. He was horrible in the ring.
So we're going to talk about Tyrus as well. Okay.
Well, because he got divorced or whatever, and he put it on social and all that nonsense. But anyway,
yes.
R-Truth was the NWA champion, granted under the TNA banner in 2002 or 3 or 4, whatever it was. But he was indeed a NWA world champion. Can't take it away from him. Yes. The man is very athletic, very talented. I have read several things. First, he was on Nick Khan's cut list. Second, he did not like the money offer they made him. Third, instead of cutting him, they chose to just let the contract run out instead of going, on the post WrestleMania list where everybody gets cut, this time per year.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of interesting decisions they can make. There's a whole thing about TKO being in debt and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah, I
Most
saw that.
companies are in debt, guys. Not everybody is in the black. Most huge companies are in the red.
They run that way. Yes.
Yeah, they run that way. And when you have multi-million-dollar contracts and multi-billion-dollar venues and all these other things, and you have to remember with something like TKO that just put on this huge event, WrestleMania, I would bet you they haven't been paid for it yet.
Oof.
The gate, the venue, the merchandise, the pay-per-views, if they sold the traditional pay-per-view model, they haven't collected all the money for Las Vegas. So everybody just relax. There's also this thing going to happen, Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. God knows how much they're going to get paid for that. 50 million, probably a fair number, Deuce. 50 million.
Well, remember many, many months ago, I said right here on our podcast that it is going to happen, that one day they're going to have WrestleMania in Saudi. Did I not? Fuck yeah, I called it. And I think that's what they're looking. I think that they're going to have a WrestleMania in Saudi.
The international appeal of professional wrestling, the brand identity of WrestleMania, the corporate structure of WWE, and the partnership with TKO, and no, this is not a prepared speech, make that possible where you can operate inside another country.
Yeah.
And a country that has been less than friendly to this country and our allies at times. When they go to France this year, they're going to light that place on fire. When they do Clash in the Castle, they're going to light that place on fire. There is a yearning for wrestling internationally. And you can't
very much so,
because it's an Islamic and Muslim country, that it's any different than it would be in Germany or France or Scotland or here in the United States or North in Canada.
So, it's Royal Rumble right now in Saudi Arabia next year. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Huh.
Yes, the women have to cover up. Okay, so Yamilier, thank you for joining us. Or Yo Miller, excuse me. Yo Miller. The women have to cover up. Indeed, they do. It's called culture. When you move from internationally, the proper thing to do is to follow the standards of culture inside one country. Now, if you don't like it, you can do what CM Punk has threatened to do, which is maybe why they're doing this tag match, which we'll talk about in a minute. Don't go. He said he's not going to Saudi. But Sami Zayn said he wasn't going to Saudi, and he went to Saudi.
He went to Saudi, yeah.
Women didn't go to Saudi, and now women are very prominently featured in Saudi Arabia. So,
yep. Yeah, and I think they even were training or talking to or going to begin some Saudi women in wrestling. So that'll be a fucking oof.
Fernando, put a pin in this. Saudi Arabia sponsored terrorism in the past. You will get me going, but you are correct, sir. The Wahhabi Muslims, that sect, not the friendliest people. Osama bin Laden himself, a Saudi Arabian aristocrat who left under the threat of banishment or an execution in 1991 with $300 million and a terrorist network. So yes, you are correct, sir.
Oh boy.
But we're not here to talk about that. We're going to talk about wrestling.
Okay, but that is a little bit of the same.
Allegedly, ma'am.
Allegedly.
Let me get my coffee, ma'am.
Oh boy. Yeah. Okay. So R-Truth, sad to see him go, but I think whatever he chooses, wherever he goes, whatever he wants to do, he's going to be great at. I mean, if it's continuing with his music or whatever, we all wish him the best. We're seeing kind of a different push or a different breed of releases from WWE. Like Red said, it's usually right after Mania. You can expect the whole handful of talent, but now it's almost intermittent. It's almost, what is this? January, February, March, April, May, June. It's almost at the mid-fiscal or mid-year finances where you take a look at what you have, what's not working, what are your highest contracts, and you get rid of your highest contracts to offset other things to get ready for the new year. And I see that this is happening. Who are we not using? Who's getting paid the most? That's not working. Blah 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 blah. So I mean, whew, and it's going to continue. Now the other buzz was the Miz deleted everything off of his socials. So I went over there and looked at it, and there's nothing really. Says nothing about WWE. So he might be the other person that could be leaving, including Valhalla, and a whole handful of people. We're probably going to see a bunch more. I don't know about a bunch, but a bunch, but maybe a handful. But it's part of the business. You can't sit here and blast words at WWE. Oh, fuck these guys for getting rid of them. It's business. That's what happens when you're in this business. Be expected to get, let go the next day. Nothing is forever, people. Nothing. So, again, we tease, it's who you know or who you suck or blow or whatever the word of the day is. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of it is performance and what you bring to the table. Another is it's about the team and how people market you and your environment and how people help you along the way too. So I can sit here and be busting my ass and being the best damn wrestler ever, but I'm going to need that team behind me to help market and push and, do whatever they need to do. But again, if you're out there and they're pushing you and you're not performing, be prepared to be like sayonara fast. What else? Carlito.
Hey, before you jump, I'm gonna ask the fucking questions here for a minute.
Jesus Christ, why are you yelling at me?
Because you were on a roll this afternoon, like you had coffee.
Oh yeah.
I'm asking the questions. Can I be in charge for a second?
Okay, you can have the floor.
No, that line from that movie. It was hilarious. I forget what movie it was. Full Metal Jacket with Arlie Ermey. He's doing his thing. He says, I'm asking the fucking questions. Mind if I'm in charge for a while? But seriously, you were released at the height of your career in WWE. Granted, some of that sucked.
Unexpected. And I was a Vince's girl.
You were Vince's girl. Yeah. You wrestled Bull. You wrestled Bertha. They brought these Japanese women.
I was supposed to. They were putting it out, marketing me for WrestleMania 11. It was all going. Boom.
Yeah. Boom. Gone. And then you threw your title belt in the trash can. And yesterday on our show, I did the research for it. We talked about you and Sherry in the chapel in Vegas, where you crashed the wedding and beat the shit out of Sherry on the Clash of Champions with the Harlem Heat standing by, and Colonel Parker. Poor Sherry, oh yeah. So that was funny. Arn says he can't afford your belt because I told the crowd, they put in they asked me, I said, Madusa said, because we were talking about you threw the belt in the trash can, was that one of the big shots of Nitro? Because what they were talking about was Bischoff reading the results, where he would read what WWE was doing live on the air, so there was no reason for anyone to watch it, just watch Nitro because Nitro was live. And I said, yeah, and then they had Madusa throw the title in the trash can, and I told Paul and Arn, I said, Madusa has the belt, she's going to auction it off, starting price is $100,000. And Arn says, I'm a couple bucks short. Just let her know I won't be in on that. So
Arn said that, and tell him I've got a fresh pair of shoes that I'll be whipping at him.
And then he told the story about where you threw the shoe at him at TV because he told you you're like a child. Women should be heard and not seen or something.
Yeah, I was taking too long.
Yeah, messing with their gym time.
Yeah.
But anyway, very, very different because, and I want you to talk about this because this happened to you.
Yeah.
Released in WWE while you're the face of the women's division and the champion. While it's Survivor Series 95, we bring in Japanese women that include Aja Kong, who would have been great to wrestle in this country. People wouldn't have necessarily understood what they were watching, though, Madusa, between you and Aja. Now, I guess you and Bull would have warmed people up to that, but Aja Kong was a badass. If you ever seen a spinning back fist, guys, Aja Kong throws a badass spinning back fist. But at the top, at the height of your career, you're released. At the lowest of lows of your career, wrestling Evan Courageous and Ed Ferrara as Oklahoma, you ask for your release. Talk about the differences, Madusa. What are the differences in your career in those two things?
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, that's a good question, and thank you. You know, when you're a couple years in a business that you've spent 10 years on the independents already, you know, busting your ass, wondering, what am I doing? And you have a few come to Jesus talks with yourself, and you're like, I'm in it. I am not quitting. I've given up so much already. And the fuck if I'm going back. And then you get that break, and then you go to, you know, the place you've been wanting to go and fight for, which was WWE. And there I was, and just living what I worked so hard for. Right. And I was a Vince's girl. When I say a Vince's girl, we didn't have a problem with each other. He never spoke to me, as I told you before, Red, in any lascivious way or anything like that. He never approached me. He never done any of that stuff. And it was strictly business. And he saw something in me that he wanted to revitalize women and a kick-ass sports, gymnastic, badass woman. And that's why he started and revived the women's division when I first came aboard. And that's what he saw. When he saw my style, he's like, oh my God, where did this woman come from? Let's bring her, blah, 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 blah. So, and that's what he was going on. And he kept pushing that. And then when I say I was a Vince's girl as well, I was there, always on time, early, you know, training. You never had to worry about me, right? Never, you know, drunk, drugs, nothing. Just, I was there. I was a company girl. So, and then for me to get that FedEx when I was getting ready to leave to go to a gig for them, it took the wind out hard. And I'm like, I mean, because I started questioning, like, what did I do? What's wrong with me? Where did I fail? What did I say? You know, and I knew it wasn't, you know, me being a bad employee or me being, you know, a bad wrestler or any of that. I started questioning who I was as a woman, and, you know, just, you know, as myself, and just my ability to even achieve. Like, what did I do to have this just, you know, just taken from underneath me? And I just, ooh, let me tell you, but I'm not a type of person that would, that goes out in public and say, oh my God, you know, I broke up with this person, or I, you know, lost my job. And yeah, just, I learned to deal. I was a self healer, and I learned to, compartmentalize and structure and work things out myself. And I did very well. And I somehow brought in, it's the not the aura, but I self-motivated myself, and I put out, you know, my feelers and my aura. And I brought what you put out, you bring back in tenfold, right? So I was doing that, and it was less than 24 hours is when I got the call from Eric Bischoff, which Eric says I called him. But him and I'll go back and forth to the day we die. But one day I just told him to shut up because it was the best thing he ever did for the company. So it just absolutely fucking just skyrocketed that whole situation with WCW. It opened up the door for many things. I'm not saying I was the reason. I'm just saying it hijacked everything basically in a good way. And so I got that and there was no explanation. Like, I remember, I think I called and said, and I got, what's his name? The Four Horsemen, the whitehead dude. Why can't I
JJ
forget
Dillon.
his JJ Dillon, thank you. JJ Dillon, he's like, "I'm sorry, but we just don't need your services. We're downsizing. We don't know the, future of WWE, and we're really trying to strengthen a few things." So I didn't know what any of that meant, and I didn't know the depth of the steroid scandal, the IRS scandal, and um, the other scandal that he was in with some woman or something. And I I was just like, well, what does that got to do with me? You just exit the whole women's division. And I was just like heartbroken. So I said, fuck it, pull up your pants and move forward. It was with 24 hours, whatever it was. And I got a call from Eric and there I was. So fast forward, I was working with them and I just saw the way the direction was going with WCW and I didn't like it. I was promised a lot of things over there and it never happened, but I still worked my ass off. Wanted to change the trajectory of the women's division and put that on the platform and on the map. And it didn't happen. And that's where, what Red was saying is this, I just, my integrity is never to be bought and I would never sell it. And it was just, to me, that was more important. I did things I regret, meaning like I tried to, that I thought, I had to do or fit in. I kept getting my tits bigger thinking, okay, maybe this is what I need to do. And but it's not what I wanted to do. I was totally against it. And I just, fuck it. Finally, I just said, forget it. This ain't for me anymore. I worked almost 20 years in wrestling. And if this is the way women are going to be brutalized and just, I'm out. I'm out. I'll just go back into nursing. And that was, I'll go back into nursing. Fuck it. Well, then, my life changed. But I will tell you, when I said, when I saw it changing and I didn't want to be a part of it, and I just said, I can be better than this. And I was fulfilled. It was really hard. The whole time as I say, I was good to wrestling. Wrestling wasn't good to me. I would say my best years have been after my Hall of Fame, really. And I can't say it was my best, but it's real memorable times because times have changed and the relationship with women in this business have changed for some better. Absolutely. You have to say that it has. And I'm just glad I gave my notice because I saw the writing on the wall and I got wind from somebody from WWE that Vince was, maybe in talks and he may be buying, WCW. I'm like, fuck that. So I gave my notice because I didn't want my name, taken from me because I trademarked this name 40 years ago. And I'd be damn if I was going to let that name slide right on over. You know what I mean? Because I worked too hard for it. And so gave my notice, moving on, was going to go to, back to nursing. And then I got that call to say, hey, Deuce, what are you doing? You want to drive monster trucks? Oh, geez. That's a whole nother story.
That's another story we are going to talk about at some point because I'm very interested to know how you went from Madusa, Team Savage to monster trucks. But, and Evan Courageous. But if I may, ma'am, a thought about your career. Filled with moments, never filled with consistency, your wrestling career. There are memorable things that you did in the wrestling ring. And stop it, Digi. I understand it's in her book. There are memorable things you did in the wrestling ring. You were a member of the Dangerous Alliance. You scaled a cage. You worked in Japan as an American woman. You took a guillotine leg drop off of the top of the cage from Bull Nakano. You did the hair spot with Sherry, the Colonel Parker stuff. All of those things that you did. I didn't even mention the AWA where you got your start. All of those things that you did, people remember the moments to them. But to say you had a sustained and long career would probably be an exaggeration. Because it was herky-jerky start and stop. The Dangerous Alliance is the hottest thing in WCW, and it offends Bill Watts that it is, so he kills it. Vince McMahon brings you in to wrestle and be the face of women's wrestling, and from 1993 to 1995 you were, until he sent you a FedEx and said, no more. Eric Bischoff put you on Nitro, and you put the title in the trash can, and you and Sherry have a decent program. Bull comes in, you have a decent program, and then all of a sudden the NWO takes off, and the women in WCW are not important to the company, and you're an afterthought. But you have fantastic moments that people remember in wrestling. So I know wrestling wasn't always good to you, but you were good to us, and I wanted to tell you that, because you do have fantastic moments in wrestling. Now,
yeah, I mean, even AWA was fantastic. I got some funny stuff there. It was just crazy, but I mean, AWA was way back in the day when you had, your Wahoo McDaniels and your Ray Stevens and your Crippler and your, yeah, I mean, it's just, there's so much there and so much history too. You got to remember, you had DDP going through there, believe it or not, guys, when he was young, and it just, Wendy Richter and I fought through there. And gosh, it brings back a lot of memories. I had a very fulfilled career and a very colorful career. When you look at the ages of my career, I am probably, one of them, if not only, I don't know, but from the era of Moolah, that wrestled Moolah, that also is still here and carried all of these generations, not carried, but worked through all these generations and still working with the young talent today. You know what I mean? It was just a couple years ago, I was in the ring with them. And from Moolah to the girls today, that's a big spectrum. And I hold that dearly, very much so.
And that is why this show is called Paving the Way, in case you guys didn't know. And I'm not being a smart ass. That is what the name of the show is for. And that was Madusa's idea, not mine. Miller, I wanted to address something you said. When Madusa says she was a Vince girl, she means that Vince McMahon was a supporter of hers. She does not mean that Vince McMahon sexually harassed her like he did Sable. That was a couple years later, by the way. Sable came into WWE 1996. She was a valet of one Hunter Hearst Helmsley, later her husband, Mark Marrow. They went to go get Johnny B. Bad, and Vince fell in love with Sable. At least if you listen to what Bruce Pritchard said on his podcast when they talked about it on Something to Wrestle. Vince McMahon, Mr. Genetic Jackhammer and Big Balls and all this, wouldn't have the balls to sexually harass Deborah Maselli the way that he did.
They never approached me.
But he wouldn't have the balls to do it, is my point. And yes, I just used Madusa's shoot name on the show. But he would not. Vince would not, grapefruits and all, would not have it to sexually harass Madusa. And yes, Shawn Michaels did start in actually not AWA. He started, if I'm not mistaken, in either World Class or...
Yeah, it was before that, yeah.
I think he started in Mid-South, but he was part of the Midnight Rockers in AWA.
Marty Jannetty, yeah.
With Jannetty, and they worked against Pat Rose and Buddy Summers, who was managed by one of Madusa's favorites, Sherry Martel.
Yes.
So that is, and they had the match in Las Vegas, I think it was, that everybody loves. Great tag team match from Rose and Summers with the Midnight Rockers. And then, of course, they went to the WWF, and Vince McMahon.
They all started going over there.
The Rockers. But anyway, Madusa. So that, like I say, we've done a lot of talking, but that ultimately, this is a business.
It is. It is, guys. So on these releases, as he was saying, it's a business. And no matter, like he asked me to give you he didn't ask me to give you that long-winded story. I did, just so you could understand. But it's It's all how you handle it. You can go out there and criticize people, or you can go out there and make something out of it. So I've been seeing some kids go out there and they're starting to do some really good work. Like, when someone gets released, they have to wait X amount of days, whatever, or you start to see them, they'll come out and then all of a sudden they'll have this really great sizzle reel or this great promo that they shoot. And all of a sudden people are like, well, where was this when you were there anyway? You know what I mean? It's because when you do get let go or released, or there's a change, even for good or worse or whatever, it pushes you to that next level to be creative. And you need to be creative. You need to recreate yourself. You need to reinvent. And I've said that for 30, 40 years. You can go back on any of my interviews. You need to reinvent. And that's what I did. I kept reinventing Madusa. And that's what kept me out in front and alive. There's right now ones that's retired and it keeps her face out there in public, and she's young, and is Trish Stratus. She's always reinventing herself no matter what she's doing. She's always going to be a forefront of WWE because she was the big face of that time in that era. You can't hate her for it, but she's always reinventing herself. She's doing something, if it's this or it's that, and she's putting herself out there. And that's exactly what I did when I was her age. You continue to do that on a level that you want, so kudos to her and everybody else that's doing that decides if they want to do that. And if they don't, it's okay too. Some choose, some don't. And it's a choice. That's part of your life. That's what you love. That's what and that's what you choose to continue to do. And that's what I did with Monster Trucks. So not only, 20 years of wrestling, I decided to do about 20 years of Monster Trucks. So that's 40 years of entertainment, and I'm still doing wrestling. And so when we talk about releases, guys, again, period, done, amen. It's a business. And either you're going to shit or get off the pot and you're going to figure something out. Nobody's here to hold your hand. No one's here to make everything better for you. Nobody, it's even if you got fucked over entirely, do something about it. Do something about it. I can't honestly say I've really put something out there publicly. Oh, hey, I broke up with this person, or, or whatever. I think I just silently maybe went on a broadcast and dumped a title in the trash because I was under contract and that's what you do. But I think that, we really didn't have social media back then, but I think it's best, hear me out, people. I think it's best to always let people guess what you're doing. Don't tell them what you're doing all the time. That's the key, really. Let them guess. Let them keep guessing. So that's my motivation for the day. I want to jump into another release with Carlito. I don't know how much big fans of everybody was of Carlito, but some people were upset about Carlito as well. I didn't hear too much of any, racist comments because you had R-Truth and then Carlito, and I'm like, oh God, here comes the racist comments. But there really wasn't anything on race, which I thought that was pretty interesting, and I thought it was good. I think they were more pissed about who they were and their ability to perform or, capture the fans. So I didn't hear much about Carlito. Maybe some of you did. The third person is Gigi Dolan. So I always thought Gigi she stuck out. So I really liked her character. I thought she was she made the mold for that hat that she wore. That I feel that Chelsea Green kind of ripped off from her. I'm just going to say it because Chelsea started wearing that, that hat, but that's what Gigi Nolan wore, I believe. She wore that first. Guys, can you comment on that for me? Because I think Gigi wore that type of hat for a while. And then all of a sudden I saw Chelsea Green wearing it. And I just thought, I thought we don't wear other people's gimmicks and stuff like that. But, who am I to say? But I thought Gigi was a woman of her own. And I really don't know what happened there. I can't remember much of her wrestling style, but I knew she could move a bit. So anybody else?
Well, and she also was, I believe, in a relationship with Zachary Wentz, who's one of the Rascals from TNA, if I'm not mistaken. If I am mistaken, somebody correct me. We've got some very intelligent listeners and viewers here, Madusa, that know a lot about wrestling. So I rely on them. I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes I get it not quite correct, so I do rely on them. Yo Miller has an interesting question, but I want to say something about Carlito. Carlito is cool, and apparently was cool with most of the women's locker room at one point. So there's that. The man was a player, born. Okay. But remember, he is wrestling royalty in that he is the son of Carlos Colon, who ran Puerto Rico for a very long time.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah, so Carlito or Carly Colon is Carlos Colon's son.
Oh shit, that goes deep.
So he will be, I promise you, in professional wrestling just fine. To Digi's point, it initially was supposed to be a short-term thing, and it's rolled into 3 years, believe it or not, that Carlito's been back with WWE.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, and then Yo Miller has thing here, and it's a fair question as somebody north of 60. So age had nothing to do with R-Truth's release. He was the oldest person on the roster.
Well, how old is R-Truth?
54, if I'm not mistaken. 54.
That's still young.
Yeah, 54. So, Yo Miller, I would agree that I don't know that age didn't play a role. I think it actually came down to money.
Yeah.
But I think it's always going to come down to money. If you guys have listened to this and me very much, that's where my business point of view usually goes. Is it usually comes down to money, because let's face it, I heard him get called our favorite pet on another podcast because he would, do the little interactions and crack people. And like on SmackDown, his last segment, he called Jeff Cobb Husky, which was hilarious. And then thought he was Solo's son and all this stuff. Same as when he did the Royal Rumble or whatever. He grabs the ladder from under the ring thinking he's going to get a contract. He did the comedy. He did the funny stuff, but he did it so well.
Yeah. It made you forget about any age, because when you are that good at that, you don't think about shit like that.
Yeah, he cracked everybody. I mean, he broke everybody. So I'm a big R-Truth fan, but to the point, AJ Styles is 48 years old.
Okay.
Talking about age in wrestling, AJ Styles just turned 48 years old. John Cena, 47 or 48 years old. CM Punk, 46 years old. Randy Orton, 45 years old. I think we've done this exercise before, but Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin over on the other channel, 49 years old. Cope, well over 50. Christian, well over 50. Chris Jericho, well over 50. So the veterans are, a little bit older. But they're not the veterans. They're more like the legacy performers. And that's what R-Truth was. That's what Carlito was becoming. That's what AJ Styles has become. AJ probably the best in-ring of them all, quite frankly. Other than maybe Randy. Because
what was that fucking finish? What was that finish?
Okay. So you're talking about against my coffee order.
Christ.
So,
AJ does not stand for a jobber.
So the finish was supposed to be a headbutt with a foreign object like the old assassins did.
That looked horrible.
And unfortunately, that camera angle looked like he's pushing him instead of beating him.
Not even. He just kind of went,
so Grande Americano, not Chad Gable, but certainly my coffee order, has qualified for Money in the Bank. And
well, I hope they're not zeroing out on him anytime soon, but you can see if he's starting to do jobs like that constantly. I mean, Ay, ay, ay.
AJ has been on record that he is got a year or two left and he is out.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
Homegrown talent, TNA. Actually had a tryout for WCW back in 2000 or right in 2001 before they closed. Went to Jeff Jarrett's TNA, became the NWA World Champion there, became an established star. Dixie Carter did not renew him. He goes to New Japan Pro Wrestling, becomes the leader of the Bullet Club, which arguably was the most creative thing wrestling had that decade.
Yeah.
Or half decade. And then he comes to WWE January of 2016 Royal Rumble, and he's been there ever since.
My husband loves him. He's such a
is,
gentleman. Yeah, he's
and
such a
he's
great
so
guy.
good. Like he's
Yeah.
so good in the ring, even at his age, you know. But I do believe that you know, they're going to start making these decisions, Madusa, to turn the roster over.
Oh
Now,
God, yeah. Did you see all the new talent in NXT coming out? Holy shit. There's a big push coming, and I think here's the thing, because I want to make a comparison here about this and Monster Trucks and Monster Jam. So it happened there. So you had a handful of us vets that were there on top, that were making, decent money. To me, I thought it was decent money because I never made that kind of money in wrestling. So there's that. But I had to work my ass off for probably 15 years in Monster Trucks before I even got paid decent. Let's just put it there. 15 years before I had a decent paycheck. So you tell me that ain't dedication. So I see a comparison happening here. So what Monster Jam did, and I see it happening now in full force, is that you've got to weed out these heavy hitting, hard, succulent freaking contracts that are making big money that aren't doing much. And so Monster Jam did the same thing. They took all of us on top and they started weeding us out. So when my contract came up, my last contract, they didn't want to pay me shit. And I'm like, yep, writing's on the wall. I'm getting here towards the end. I can see it. It's almost 20 years. All of us are in our 50s, blah, blah, blah. 50s, by the way. I want you all to know that I was in my late 50s driving monster trucks. I was getting to be 60 driving monster trucks. So, and still a bad bitch. But anyway.
Winning championships. For those of you playing along at home.
Winning championships in my late 50s. So, age is just a thing. Anyway, so what they did is they started weeding us out, taking away those big, heavy contracts. And what they did is they're bringing in this new talent, and they don't know what's going on. They just hear whatever, but they're just excited to be there to drive this truck and perform. And so they were paying them $500 a weekend, 700 shows, whiplashes, can't fucking move. And it was about as bad as wrestling in the 80s. But all these kids were saying yes to do, and they, yes to do it, and eagerly. And they're thinking, well, look at this. We can get all of this, get rid of this fat and put in the skinny, basically. And that's exactly what they're doing in wrestling. So they know they can get the talent, train them, mold them the way they want, pay them what they want, be on TV, and control everything. And it's just, oofda. And that's what's happening. You're going to have a few of your, heavy hitters, but it's going to be minimal. I don't know. Hopefully there's still some really good, smart people in there that won't let that happen. But yeah, they're going to weed out that fat. Either you want to be there or you don't. Either you're going to accept this or you don't have a place, because we have people that will. I don't know.
Yep. And the other thing is, and I've said this over and again about AEW, because you talked about Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa enjoyed her moment in time, and now I sound like the former vice president. It was a moment in time in which we must imagine another moment in time.
Oh, God. I am going to pull
you haven't heard me do it for a while.
I'm going to pull your balls. Okay, yes.
So, if you will, imagine this moment in time where we fell out of a coconut tree. But
You
Thunder
fucking
Rosa,
fell out of a tree and hit your head, but continue.
Thunder Rosa was one of Tony's favorites. Her and Britt Baker had that really bloody cage match. Then she went down the card. Jamie Hayter, world champion. Double or nothing. She's wrestling Mercedes, who is obviously one of Tony's favorites now. Tony has the book where Mercedes wins. We're getting Mercedes and Tony Storm at All Out. Jamie Hayter out of the picture. Former AEW world champion. And the storytelling was atrocious because this should have been the match that put Mercedes in the most jeopardy of losing. This is the former women's champion who is only not the women's champion because she got injured. But she was out for a very long time. And now all of a sudden, she's not one of Tony's favorite toys. Tony Khan, not Tony Storm. So I think that's a pattern that you see. Thunder Rosa will never be on anything more than Collision these days. For whatever reason, whatever she did, whatever she said, and it's because she's out of the rotation. But back to the larger point, new wrestlers coming in, older wrestlers kind of fading out. Put pen to paper. Who are my stars now? Who are my stars a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now?
I've said that to you. That's how I would plan it. That's how I'd look at my roster. Absolutely.
Yeah. And
that business is business. Yeah.
And all the fat, as you called it, there are 193 active wrestlers on the AEW roster.
Holy shit.
193.
And they all have guaranteed contracts?
They're all under contract. Every last one.
Damn.
You know what I'd be doing with that pen? Whoop.
Yes.
Whoop.
Yes.
Because you can't create an effective television product without consistency. And why are we bringing Darius and Dante Martin on TV to eat a loss to, who was it? Bobby and Shelton. Why are we having that match? Why are you having them lose to Dustin and Sammy Guevara? I mean, come on. So anyway.
Oh my God. Oh my God. So, okay. So that's the story on releases and what I think and what happens. I don't know. I think Gigi could really do something with herself. I hope she does. We talked about AJ and then Karrion Kross. You know, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is there. I don't know. I know he's got a beautiful wife, but I think, you know, he gave a good promo here lately. I don't know if it was a shoot or if it was, you know, something that was told that needed to be done. But someone has said to me, they think his crutch is his wife. That's holding him back. He needs to let go of that and do something on his own.
I think he's an extremely talented individual with erratic. It's not even inconsistent. It is erratic booking. When they had him in NXT in the black and gold brand and he was the killer and she come out and she'd be his escort or
I saw that and I didn't like it. I didn't like that. He can do something. He needs to be by himself.
He had the shaved head killer look is all I'm saying, Deuce. And he was really well presented then.
He needs to be by himself and fucking go. He does.
They are married.
That's how he's going to get. And that's how he's going to either. I feel that he chooses that and he escalates, you know, in this business, or I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, Scarlett Bordeaux and Karrion Kross are married. And for those of you who don't know, he has an amazing Jesse Ventura impression. Mentioning the golfer Tonkin kid, but it was very good. Really good.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they have to. I think that him as a lone character would be better, you know, and maybe her go off and do her own thing, whatever. But I think that sometimes if something hasn't worked for a long time, you need to change it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So Maria's here. Maria, we love you. This is Maria, our friend. She's here every week, every stream, which we appreciate. Thunder Rosa had a great run in AEW. There's a lot more talented women right now in AEW. I would challenge the talent level of the women in AEW. I think there's 2 or 3 very good women, and there's everybody else. But that is an argument for another day, and I am biased towards the WWE. But Maria does faithfully watch the AEW Madusa, and she thinks Thunder has fallen down below some of these other women. So it's a fair.
By what? By what? How has she fallen down by the other women? By the pen or her wrestling ability?
And she was saying wrestling ability, I believe. Maria, follow up with that, and I'll put it on the screen for Deuce. But
by what metric exactly?
You could say what metric, because wrestling is subjective because it's art. Art is a chosen medium used to elicit a response. I had a great high school teacher in a humanities class, Madusa, who showed us a piece of art called Pissing Christ. And it was a crucifix stuck in a cup of urine. You don't think in the Midwest that elicits a response? Certainly does. You may not be your art, is what I'm getting at.
Right.
But it's somebody's art, and it certainly conveyed a message.
Yeah.
So Maria's answer, and Maria, we're not calling you out. We appreciate your participation. She believes the wrestling ability of some of the other women exceeds that of Thunder Rosa. And I will say this:
I disagree.
Being fair and balanced more than Fox News, because Deuce and Thunder are friends. So I'm gonna be Samson here. I don't know how good Thunder Rosa is anymore because she's never on television and she never wrestles.
I mean, that's a fair answer. You can't say I don't know how good she is. She's always going to be good.
Currently,
but she could be rusty for not wrestling, maybe.
That might be better. Yeah. Currently in wrestling shape. How much wrestling shape is she really in right now?
Yeah. So she may be rusty, but that shit can knock off in heartbeats, like riding a bike. But I would put her in something good. I put her on a level of a Tony Storm. I would put her in a level of with Mercedes, one of your favorites. I would put her, oh shush. I mean, she's better than half of the roster there. So
I want a letter writing campaign from Madusa's Mod Squad and followers to bring back Britt Baker, because this show was a lot more fun when we could shit talk Britt Baker, and she hadn't even been on TV. But now Mercedes takes the brunt of it. Her and that chicken leg run she does. I'd love to see her with Julia Hart. Digi says Julia Hart and Thunder.
You just like witchy women because you live with one.
There's your ball busting winner. But no, it's a fair statement, I believe, from Maria. I don't think that the AEW women's roster is as strong as she does, but I mean, again, if it's subjective and you have your own personal criteria, is it wrong, Madusa? Is it wrong?
What, her feeling about it?
No. I mean, yeah, your opinion on wrestling, not hers necessarily.
No, I'm not going to tell her she's wrong because that's her opinion.
Wrong.
But I can tell you what I know. And if Thunder got back in there and she was wrestling all the time, she would hang with the best.
She's firing shots. Mercedes.
Look at her fucking brew is boiling. She had to say something.
Willa, Chris, Stat, Jamie, all better than Thunder. Wow. Maria, I need you to DM me and we can have an elongated conversation about why I disagree with you, but I will do it respectfully.
Megan, are you kidding me? No.
Megan Bates got the look. I mean, there's some elements here that could work. Not a witch. The witches want to gypsy and all. What in the world?
Go back to fucking to your brewing.
Yeah, Winter's doing something over there. Anyway, what we were doing was getting ready to transition to wrestling. But before we do, we haven't talked about your man, Vince McMahon, very much lately. Oh, Vinnie Mac is still being sued by Janelle Grant. It is still going to court, but now it's going to court without John Laurinaitis. Hey, I turned stooge on Vince. Is that okay with you, Deuce?
Well, if you want to feel and, pay for those repercussions later in life, dude, because you will. I promise you will.
Hey, I got an idea. Let me find that one-legged wrestler. I never thought, well, I can't say I never thought because I watched too much crime TV. I thought it would be very difficult to turn Johnny Ace on Vince because them two are tied together, about like Kevin Dunn and Vince. And now Johnny Ace, what has come out from the lawyers is that she will not pursue the civil suit against Johnny Ace. In return, Johnny Ace is going to testify on her behalf.
Boy, if that's some black fucking, oh my God, some blackmailing bullshit. Boy, he must have some stuff on him, and you know he does. But it could just, couldn't have put him in a bad situation because he'd be there for half of that.
Yeah. So he's going to have to admit to bad acts to be an effective witness. He's going to have to
you would hope
to morally and ethically wrong, bad acts, and maybe even criminal acts to be an effective witness, Madusa.
Nope, I never believed Yo Miller. I never believed that I was the best wrestler. Never. Never, ever. I just knew that I knew how to do a few good things, and I was proud of my German suplex until this day. And I knew that.
Bitches quit rolling it. Put a bridge on it. Tell him, Deuce.
No, I never thought I was the best wrestler. Fuck no. Why would you walk around and think that? I mean,
there are some that do. Phil is one of them. He tells people he's the best in the world.
Who?
Your buddy Phil Brooks, Pepsi Phil, CM Punk, the chick Pepsi magnet.
Phil. That's all part of the business, though. I know he doesn't know. I know he doesn't think he's the best.
I want to have a conversation with you about that, ma'am, because you certainly know he thinks he's the best.
No, he knows he's good at the business, but
he was good. Knows he's lost a step. Age has a way of doing that, as does bodily injuries. His style was a little rough on him in the early days, Deuce. Let's be honest. Ring of Honor was a different animal back then.
Yes.
But anyway, Johnny Ace. I mean, I know you've said there's some blackmail and shit. But you're not necessarily. You're not necessarily wrong. This happens in criminal court, civil court. All of a sudden, we've turned somebody to be a witness for either the plaintiff or the prosecution.
They must really need something and promised him something for him to do that. And I mean, he's really got a lot to lose, but does he? Because he's already lost a lot. He lost his wife. He lost all of the credibility in this business. He lost so much in this business. It reminds me of a Lex Luger situation, to be honest.
No.
It just, yeah, I just can't.
We won't talk about Lex because we know how some of that hits hard. You know, obviously.
It hits hard on anything. So does a Chris Benoit. So does a lot of other shit hits hard. It just depends, how, that person or how close it was to you at that time. And it all hits people differently. It's what I will let, it's what I will let and not let get to me or bother me. Now, there was a point where I was just angry at a few people because of their choices in this business. And, sometimes it made me hate wrestling even more. And sometimes I couldn't get out of my own way because I just hated the business because of what I knew what it was and what it did to people. And I carry that with me because it was just a shit fucking show. And that's why I really believe in hang on to the tails of, I see it getting better and I see good things where, all I hear people say is, oh, it's shit. WWE's running it to the ground. This fucking this, it's fucking that. Rah, rah, rah. I'm like, all you bitches, shut the fuck up because you have no idea the way it was unless you lived it and was in it. Really. So, or the way you were treated.
So this is Yo Miller's comment, and I'm going to address this. Lex was getting love from the crowd at the Hall of Fame. True. Lex was getting love as a wrestling fan.
Because they don't know the real
United...
story. They just hear one side because the other party's dead.
Well, and that was what I was getting at, Madusa. Yes, longest reigning United States champion. Yes, two-time WCW champion. Yes, all of the accolades, the Four Horsemen, the Nitro era, etc., etc. Also, certainly played a role in the death of Elizabeth and the abuse of Elizabeth prior to her death. So that's facts. Those are words out of his mouth, not anybody else's. The difference is he has sought redemption for that. He has sought forgiveness for that. He has found God.
And most people do when they go to jail and they fuck up, they find God and, they've been saved and that makes them a better person. I don't know. I mean, I know that he would never do stupid shit like that again, or then again, some people do, but,
but
it's almost like a mourning, but it is a mourning because she's passed. But I mean, it's like just knowing because I was there and, seen and heard and spoke to Liz, and it just, when you know more than the party says, and then you just hear the frontal part of what they want you to hear, it's just aggravating. How's that? And that's what's hard, when people say, you just got to let go and move on. But every time that person breathes or fucking speaks, it just brings you back to that. You just want to fucking stop watching baseball, bitch.
I was looking up a second. Stop it. They're losing anyway. It's 4-0.
Yeah, you're going to lose in 1 minute.
They're going to lose for sure, but they got tomorrow. It'll be okay. You can't spot the other team 3 runs and win. Okay. I want to address something. Yo, Miller, we're not criticizing you at all. We agree with you. He did get well received at his Hall of Fame speech. He definitely did. What we're saying is it's okay for people to feel a certain way about somebody who did some bad shit, even if he has asked for forgiveness from God Almighty for it. That's all I'm saying. So everybody can have their feelings about him, and that's okay. There are people that will not watch a Chris Benoit match.
Thank you for going there, because I'm going there next. Didn't Paul Heyman go off on fucking Benoit? Fuck him for what he did. Fuck that motherfucker. Piece of shit. Motherfucker, I'll never forget. I was like, what? Didn't Heyman go off on something like that?
100%, because somebody in the crowd decided to be a smartass, and Heyman went off about Chris Benoit killing Nancy and Daniel.
Yeah, okay. So it's okay for Paul to feel that way about Chris killing somebody, but then someone finds God and we all chant yay. I mean, so I can't feel my way? You know what I'm saying? I can't. I don't give a fuck. People say we're supposed to forgive, and if you don't, you're going to live with all these demons. No, I'm not. If I don't like you, I don't put you in my circle. If I don't forgive you, I fucking don't forgive you, and you're not going to be in my circle, nor will I go over there and shake your fucking hand.
Yeah, see, that's my policy as a 40-year-old man, an adult. If I don't like you, I won't talk to you. And so everybody knows, be that Maria and Yo Miller and Digi and everybody else. This is what makes this fun, is you guys interacting too, because you have a different point of view than I do, and Madusa does, and it gets her going, and we have a lot of fun with y'all. So please continue to participate.
Madusa, we're not mad at you. We love everything you have to say. I'm, just because I speak my piece or you speak yours, it doesn't mean that, you're disliked here or you're not going to be invited or anything. Everyone has an opinion. That's my opinion. That's your opinion, blah, blah, blah. So, or experiences, whatever. So anyway, that was just a good example about how people feel about somebody when they do something bad. And it's okay for Paul to feel that way. It's okay for me to feel that way. Even if these people aren't here or they continue to go on and, be reborn, whatever. It'll never, ever, ever take away what actually happened. Period. and nor will it ever, ever, ever bring anybody back.
That is a fact. So good crowd here tonight. We want to thank you all, by the way, for coming. A lot of topics we've hit on. Madusa, somebody told me that, well, first, AEW is doing a 4-hour show tonight, which is ridiculous. The Yankees are playing, so we're not even paying attention to that. 4 hours, though. A 4-hour wrestling show. Is that a little long? Or am I off base there?
You're fucking off base. What the fuck is wrong with 4 hours when goddamn WWE has WrestleMania for fucking 2-3 days? Y'all got your head up your fucking ass.
4 hours on a Wednesday.
I don't give a fuck what day it's on. Who cares? Why are you picking on them? It's a goddamn business. It's 4 hours. WrestleMania is 2-3 days. Get a fucking life, you fucking New York Yankee piece of shit.
I like 6 wrestlers in AEW and hate everyone else. The good news for anybody that likes AEW and you're hanging with us tonight, apparently Will Ospreay is wrestling Swerve Strickland next week. So that'll be a banger, and it really will be. That's not sarcasm. It'll be a good match.
You know who I really, really fell for, and I really am beginning to like him, and I wasn't really a big fan of his, but now I am. And see how things can change? Who knows? Fucking Sami Zayn. I fucking loved him this last time. I was like, what is up with that? I thought he was great. Anyway, we're going to get to something like that here in a minute. Can we, huh?
I said, Sami Zayn.
Yes.
Winning he's over. If I may, ma'am.
No.
What do you think about the Heyman cartel, as Big Red calls them?
They are not there yet.
They're not the Dangerous Alliance. They're the Heyman cartel.
Is that what he's calling it?
That's what I'm calling them, because there is.
Because you're batshit crazy.
There are people that want to call them the Dangerous Alliance, and I will not.
No, they're not.
I will not have it. Ma'am, if I may, ma'am, not the Dangerous
Alliance.
God.
Ma'am.
Do you think Braun Breaker is a future Hall of Famer? Like,
I know what you're trying to do here. You're trying to get me riled up and have a fucking goddamn heart attack here. We're going to get to that fucking mathematician bullshit here in a minute. So
141.23 chance of defeating
2/3 of a giants in there.
Paul Heyman, guys.
Okay, wrestling and social media. So,
wrestling. Let's get that fired up.
Let's get this going. So, do wrestlers have a private life? Your life is as private as you make it. You put it out on social media, it's out for the public. Done. Yeah. What do you expect? Okay. I don't care if you're on TV, if you're a wrestler, if you're a fucking podcaster. If you put your shit out there, expect to get shit back, because not everyone's going to like you. Not everyone's going to like your platform. And again, Red and I are here to say, we're not here to, we're not here to, we're not going to please everybody. It's not that we care or don't care. It's just a matter of opinion. Mm-hmm. So there, I mean, and then it's just, you put it out there. Once you do, guys, your private life is over. So why does that even need to be a discussion anymore? I mean, I don't know. That's what the fuck? Why would you even ask a question like that?
I would ask you a question like that because we've got the worst NWA champion in the history of the NWA.
What?
One Tyrus. Talking about his scandal and divorce or whatever on the Twitter machine. We got Ric Flair talking about spilt liquor, and he makes $3 million a year. Flair went ballistic today. I don't know if you've all
back
seen
up
it.
What he said about what's his name.
What?
Did you see what Ric Flair put out on fucking JR? Well, that fucking son of a bitch he's just do anything for attention. Him talking about his cancer, and I was like, did I just read that right?
I bet you he deleted that. But yeah, that Flair, as everybody knows, again, my opinion, whether he's the greatest world champion or traveling champion or whatever he likes to say of all time or not, great for him. He is a certified piece of shit in real life.
Wow.
And I think JR is an asshole. I've met JR.
There's a lot of people that would probably agree with you. Back in his time, he wasn't nice to a lot of people.
Yeah. and you talk about somebody with some fucking hubris. Oh, I put the all-star team together. Yeah, what about 2004? We had Cena and Batista and Orton and I'm like, okay, great. You had all those people, JR. We've heard this story.
Wow.
Does not dismiss the fact that the man has made huge contributions to wrestling if you're a wrestling fan, and he also has cancer. So if you're a fucking human being, don't be a shitbag. Okay,
that
don't
was a
be
shitbag comment, though.
Yeah,
I mean, that was no matter how much of a
I
shitbag.
don't mean that because he had colon cancer either, so nobody canceled me. But the point is, don't be an asshole. God, that's even worse. Don't be a motherfucker because the guy's got cancer. Okay, don't be a motherfucker. God, you got me hot.
Don't be a shithole and a damn asshole about somebody having a colon cancer. That was great, Red.
It's gonna be a shirt. You'll be able to buy it right next to the best fudge in Uranus. Where's Morty?
That's even better.
Where's Morty? That's what I want to know. Oh
no,
my god!
You mean where's Jace Hero, our porn star?
Yeah, no charisma. Daniel Garcia is now on my TV because the Yankees are going to lose the game, and I'm not interested. No charisma. Daniel Garcia, for those of you playing.
So Fernando says JR is the GOAT of wrestling commentary.
Okay, here you go.
Madusa. We can admit that. He was good. He was good. Okay.
Is he better than Gordon?
Still doesn't take the fact away that he was mean to some people.
Is he better than Gordon Soley?
But he's the one that got me into WCW, though.
Jim Ross, yes.
Yeah. So, see, I never had words with JR. I mean, him and I never had bad words or anything. So I can't say, I mean, I had a bad business relationship with him, unless he, said some things behind my back I don't know about. But on the surface, I've never had a problem with them. What? Oh, okay. So, okay.
The dogs are barking. Go ahead and keep talking, Deuce, because here they come.
You mean your feet?
Got to be as loud as possible.
Don't yell at them. Are you living with your mother?
No, she's dead. Been for 10 years.
Oh, I thought. Do you live by yourself? Oh. Ooh. Where's those feet?
She's misbehaving herself, the old one. Lay down.
Oh, I hear. Right, don't yell. Don't yell at her. God.
She's deaf.
You're going to be deaf in 1 minute. Okay, so what is the fascination with sharing every bit of your life on the internet, and why share real life relationships on social media? So we were just talking about that about Tyrus. So you said Tyrus put something out there, and it was kind of ironic how I put something out there prior, because every time I see a celebrity, not Tyrus, but I saw something else where people break up or they put something out there. It's like, why? Like, what? Who is this person? Why do I need to know you're breaking up? Why do I have to know that, your husband cheated with the, with the laundromat lady or something, I don't know. But it's like, again, you're talking about, do wrestlers or entertainment people, whatever, have private lives? It's not private anymore. When you put your shit out there and you're on TV and you're doing whatever, your life's going to become a huge movie screen. Trust me. And then I don't know, I went back and I looked at Tyrus's post, and, he was getting a lot of praises by, being a big guy and, manning up for what he felt was wrong. And, him coming out and saying that he was, at least he's man enough to do it and he can admit his mistakes. And, if people don't like it, maybe they need to look in the mirror. I thought that comment was kind of like, well, why lash out at people? Why not just stick to you're sorry, why be angry at people? But, I've worked with Tyrus. I was his agent once or twice in a couple matches and NWA, and he was very nice to me. He was kind. He was approachable. He spoke about the business. You knew what you were getting when you spoke to Tyrus. It was very cut and dry. Yes, no. Well, this is the way. If you don't like so there wasn't any hidden. But I got along with Tyrus. I like Tyrus. So I'm gonna say that I would never say, "Oh, so and so, me and my boyfriend broke up, and I just wanted you guys know because they used to beat the crap out of me, or I cheated on this person," and it's no one's fucking business. I think that some people feel that it's a way to release, and people sometimes feel that it's people want to know, or they feel like they owe it to them to make themselves feel better. I don't know what all this shit is, but fucking social media has fucked up people. It's just crazy. Look at us, we're talking on this, telling people what we think on a fucking podcast. So because people want to hear stories, people want to hear this, people want to hear you talk. It's just a crazy world, where it's was and where it is. But I think, just sharing some really personal stuff is it's a personal choice. So that's what he personally chose. That's what he wanted, and good on him. Personally, I would never do it. So there's that.
Yeah. Yeah, you all get
but I did write a book.
You all get the persona of me on social media. You don't get me. You get you. I mean, you really
the persona, do. Exactly. Yeah.
But it's really just me entertaining myself and other people. It's not the core values or beliefs or that sort of stuff.
Exactly. There's a difference.
The deeply personal and emotional stuff. If you follow me during college football season, I'm crazy as hell. So, Madusa can't wait because we are 85 days away from the kickoff.
Yeah, whatever. Vikings go, whatever.
No, we're talking college ball.
I'm thinking Vikings. I'm Vikings. Yeah. Sorry. I'm Vikings.
That's pro ball.
I know. Whatever. I don't watch college fucking tetherball.
My thing on Tyrus is he was a terrible wrestler at the end there. That's why I said he was the worst NWA champion of all time.
What about WWF?
He was never a WWF champion.
Not champion, but he was a wrestler.
He was okay. He was more of an act though, because he come out with the girls dancing and stuff. That's where Naomi, your favorite, got her start.
Yeah,
and I'm your favorite. Madusa loves Naomi's heel run.
I do.
We're going to talk about in a second. I can't stand her, but
you're Madusa, such a bitch.
Go have babies. It'll be fine. Get the new women on the TV.
Leave her alone.
I want Jade to beat the shit out of her. So
hey, speaking of, goddamn, did you see what Bianca bought her hubby? A goddamn gold presidential diamond bezel, diamond face watch. That fucking thing must cost up to $300,000. I didn't even make that in wrestling in my fucking 20 years. I was like, God damn, these kids are making some money. The fuck? Anyway.
This pops me right here. Best thing Tyrus did was slide under the ring in Saudi. That was actually Titus O'Neil.
He tripped, didn't he?
And yes, if he had the real thing is though, had he been, I think, 3 inches one way or the other, he would have hit the supporting structure of the ring, and it could have seriously hurt him. So he was lucky he didn't get hurt. But yeah, so Bianca Belair and Montez Ford, married couple. She got the big watch for him. But Madusa, these people are $1 million players. Bianca Belair.
I'm a $1 million player, and I don't make $1 million. I'm a $1 million player.
I would bet you a steak dinner in Charlotte. She has $1 million downside guarantee, or a guaranteed contract. Guaranteed contract, Bianca. Yeah, $1 million
over a course of 5 years, maybe.
No,
you think $1 million a year?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Charlotte didn't even get $1 million a year.
Yes, I believe Bianca's $1 million player. I believe
I don't.
Rhea's $1 million player. I believe Becky is $1 million player. Yep.
Fuck, you just want to piss me off. Anyway, I'm not mad at the girls. I'm just I didn't even make 300,000 in my 20 years.
I'm just letting you know. I believe she's $1 million player. The
Oh
entrance, the
my
merchandise,
God.
the kids, the video, the movie or the show she and her husband had. Yeah, $1 million player.
I mean, I wonder how. I mean, it's got to be a good feeling to these men that these women are the breadwinners, kind of like, Cardona and Chelsea Green. They're
You
building a
mean
new
to tell
house.
me
You
that the
mean, I
indie
mean,
god,
Chelsea's the one that's basically,
the indie god working for Glizzy's in a Hyundai is not bringing home the bacon for Ms. Chelsea Green?
What?
You're telling me the indie god, as he
What
calls
I'm
himself.
saying is that Chelsea's she's making some good money. Hopefully.
You're telling me that Matt Cardona is not making good money being the indie god?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what they're making. I don't know what any of them are making.
I am
Neither do
totally
you.
fucking with you. It is hilarious, though, that somebody as in love with himself as Matt Cardona is a dependent on somebody's tax form. So you can all take
You
that.
talk about Chelsea.
Yeah.
That was bad.
He's a dependent on a tax form.
And
And he's not very, he's fine. And I never really didn't dislike his work or anything, but I really do like Chelsea Green's work. You talk about somebody who I didn't necessarily care for, Madusa, but has really just found her groove and kind of turned it up.
Is that what you're believing?
Chelsea Green is very good. Yes, I believe she's very good. But riveting audio.
Chelsea's come a long way. I mean, the third time's a charm. She said she wants to be another female Miz, but Miz is on his way out.
Miz has had a long run, though. I was in college in Northwest Iowa, and he came to the Tyson Event Center during the Diva Search, and he was the host, and he messed up the 800 number to call and vote for your favorite diva.
What?
And everybody laughed at him. 2006.
Who?
The Miz.
Oh,
The Miz made his first WWE television appearance in either end of 2005, beginning of 2006. And I was there because Triple H and Shawn Michaels had reformed DX and were feuding with Vince and Shane. And
what show did he come from? He came from a show. What was it?
Road Rules. MTV's Road Rules.
Yeah. See, I've enjoyed Miz. I loved him, and God, what a great life he's built and has, and him and his family. And I truly believe, something like that. You see something like that with Chelsea and Matt, building a good family and a foundation. And you just see these kids, building these little empires, which are so impressive. It just, you kid around and stuff like that. But I've known Chelsea for years and watch her grow. And her character is vivacious, as meaning she's bigger than, her character is loud, meaning that it's colorful and it's bright and it's funny. And I see where she says she likes to see herself as a Miz, and I think it's refreshing and it's nice. Her ring ability is not, on the top notch, but I mean, she's still, I think she's still, a valuable character. Absolutely. Again, she got that little push there for a while, and she got her name up on the, out in the lights. But, and again, now what's happening? You know what I mean? You see that with some talent. You just hope, the best for them, and, everything, for her and Matt and all the young talent that they put so much into. You just hate to see it come crashing down. Not that it is, and nor do I know anything. I'm just saying that if one day it's here, one day it's gone. It's crazy. It's scary.
Well, I mean, they made him the Intercontinental Champion at WrestleMania only to take it off of him the next night.
Who, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what year was that?
He won the ladder match. I forget, but he won the ladder match only for them to beat him the next night.
They were just using him as a tool. What is that? Why don't they use him?
I don't know. He might have a personality problem. And I don't mean that to be funny. Yeah. He might have that I like to be the indie guy. I like to call my shots. And you and I both know, Deuce,
yeah, they don't fly over there.
In WWE, you're not calling your shots.
Right.
Roman calls his shots. We get that. Cody calls his shots. We get that. But if you're not that top tier, you're not calling your shots. But Chelsea Green did break her nose at Saturday night's main event because Selena Vega delivered the shittiest 619 in the history of the business. Your boy Ray didn't teach her well. Actually, he did, I'm sure. She completely missed the move completely. And it was an accident, and she kicked Chelsea in the face and broke her nose.
So it was Selena's fault?
Yes, definitely Selena's fault.
Oh.
She missed the move. She missed the move. It was definitely Selena Vega's fault.
I'll have to see it before I say anything. I'm not trying to look for a fault on somebody. It just could be timing, and it could be body differences. Like, fucking Chelsea's what, 5'10", and she's 5 foot. Who knows?
Yeah.
What is that? What is Darren Walker saying?
This is our man from overseas. He's with us every time.
Hey,
we
Darren.
Stream any views on Jesse Ventura on Damian Priest walking out of the cage. So basically, Ventura was healing it up, saying that you shouldn't try to escape the cage. Priest wins the match. Drew McIntyre is hurt, unfortunately. Damian Priest wins, but the way he won is he walked out of the cage.
Oh.
And so the question that Darren, I think, is posing is, what are your thoughts on him making such a big deal about it on commentary? And maybe, I don't know.
Maybe it was on purpose to give lies on it.
Yeah, I don't know. Jesse kind of does his own thing on Saturday night's main event, and they let him, but he doesn't really follow the narrative that they're trying to tell. At least I don't believe
good?
So.
Do you think it's still good?
He's not got Vince or Monsoon with him, so no, I don't think he's as good as he once was.
Yeah, because he doesn't have really anybody to bounce off of that gets his, his shtick.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, him and Vince were very good together, whether you like Vince McMahon or not. Him and Gorilla were really good together. Jesse Ventura and Tony Schiavone, very good together in the WCW days.
Yes.
But I don't think him and Cole and McAfee necessarily fit that. And Joe Tessitore.
No, I thought it was a little off when I was at Saturday night, when I was sitting right behind him listening, and I thought it was a little outdated.
Yeah.
I really did. But
I love Mass Speed right here. I don't know this gentleman, but welcome. It's a pro wrestling thing, and it's a way to win. So what the fuck is he talking about?
Well, there you go.
There you go. Everybody's got an opinion. Fernando thinks Jesse was great. I think is the appropriate verb there, sir. He was great. He's not great anymore. It's just an opinion. Doesn't make it. He
still has some good one-liners, and if you ever get a chance to sit down and talk to him, he's brilliant. His fucking mind is 10 times better than an elephant, and I could sit and listen to him and talk to him all night. I love him. He's a really knowledgeable. He's kind of like you, and you start talking about history and fucking, talking about conspiracy shit. Boom, bitch. That guy is on it.
We don't have the time for that today, ma'am.
But he had that show out, and it was the best.
Oh yeah. And speaking of the best, just so you're aware, the best wrestler in AEW, Kenny fucking Omega, your Robert Plant man, is coming out to defend his bullshit title in a bullshit 4-way. And yes, I said bullshit 4-way and bullshit title, but he is the god of pro wrestling. So
he's my god. Yes.
Oh, he is so good.
Yes.
Ospreay will always be number 2 as long as Kenny Omega's around. That's just my
Lord. So I guess Ospreay's going to have to knock him out.
I'm here for the hate comments. That's all I'm saying. I'm here for the hate comments. Let's see. Yo Miller says Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse worked great with each other but that was 40 years ago. And that was my point.
Exactly. That's all we're saying.
Chemistry was fantastic. You guys had mentioned JR. Jim Ross and the King were great.
Yes.
Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone.
Chemistry is everything.
NWA were great. If you listen, and I don't know that everybody knows this, if you've ever read Under the Black Hat, Jim Ross's autobiography, he learned how to do color commentary because his commentary partner was a blind man. Leroy McGurk, the owner of Mid-South Wrestling alongside Bill Watts, was fucking blind. And so he was his color man. JR had to do the play-by-play so a blind man could actually see what the hell was going on. And that is how he got so good at it.
God, talk about technical detail and knowing how precise did he have to be, though, for him to know. That's incredible. That is some good stuff right there.
Yeah, Mike McGurk's father, who you probably know, Mike McGurk, the ring announcer from WWF, the female, Leroy was JR's first commentary partner.
That is so fucking, that is just so cool, really. Can I jump to Liv Morgan, her stalker? I didn't even know she had a stalker.
It's so fucking crazy. You got arrested. I saw it on Twitter this morning. Go ahead, ma'am. Ma'am,
what was it? So we have another female wrestler with a stalker.
Being stalked. It was at the Performance Center is where they found his ass.
Huh.
Right down the road.
What was he doing?
Apparently stalking her. And I don't, the details were very limited because it came out today.
Oh, but it must have been social media bullshit, you know, and then
it was confirmed by Sean Ross Sapp that apparently he had photos and such of her at the Performance Center, and yeah, I don't know. So,
woo, girls, keep your head on a swivel, honey.
Because that's not just her. Hasn't it been Asuka, Liv Morgan? Who was the other one, guys? Help me out. The
dark-haired girl.
Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville. Ladies, if you're being stalked, like not being stalked, rather, let me back up. In order to run off a stalker, the Constitution of the United States of America has a Second Amendment that allows the right to bear arms. I recommend that all of you carry a handgun. Because fuck people. In 2025, people are way brazen to the point.
Oh, you won't believe what's out there, people. Yeah, I mean, when I go, I live in fucking backwoods, fucking whatever, and I take walks in the morning. You know, and if it's one way or the other or this or that, blah, 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 I always have my pistol with me. I don't go. When I'm out there by myself, I don't just say, when I'm riding my Harley, sorry, I got my pistol with me. Fuck that. Anyway, so I'm glad to hear that they caught him and things are good with her. Money in the Bank, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso versus Logan Paul and John Cena. Well, that's interesting.
Oh, that's your boy. And we got a question about Logan, but here you go, Deuce. There's your card. It's 4 matches. Yeah, it's 4 matches right now. We'll go through it. But John Cena, Logan Paul, your world champion or universal champion, and Logan Paul versus Cody and the Raw champion and Jey Uso. Yeet. I don't.
So let me guess that the mat will be filled with Slim Jims.
The tables will be covered with Slim Jims. The mats will be covered with your favorite, the Prime logo.
Oh, okay, all right. So on this match, I think it'll be interesting. I think John Cena won't have much in the match. I don't, but I think Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul will have a lot to do with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Cena will be there to fuck something up.
Well, and Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul, in all fairness, had a great match in Saudi last year. Mm-hmm. Logan held his own. I know people hate to hear that, but Logan Paul is a natural in this business. He is being taught by Shawn Michaels. So it doesn't get better than that if you are a male professional wrestler who wants to be a professional wrestler. And he's getting individual treatment for that So somebody thinks a lot of him. That guy's probably Triple H. Then you're sticking him with Cody and Cena and Uso. So Uso is going to be the bump machine in this match, probably. Jay. John Cena's not taking bumps, Deuce. And
as I said, I don't think he'll be doing much except to fuck something up for someone to get the, I don't know. It'll be interesting. Who's going to take the pin here?
Yeah, I think somehow you've got to let the heels win it. But here's the other thing that's very interesting. Your man
Cody
Gunther,
Rhodes is going to do another job.
Your man Gunther gets Jey Uso the following Monday. So Saturday is Money in the Bank.
That's when Gunther wins the title.
It better be. Gunther,
he doesn't need it, as we said, but I think he's finally. I said he doesn't need it, but he's going to get it, and I think this is when he gets the title is from him. So,
well, that's the thing. Like Gunther, so it's weird to me. But you get this tag match with both world champions involved. And you got Logan, and it'll be fine. And then of course Cena is Cena, and Cody can handle himself, and Jey Uso is Jey Uso. Jey Uso is an entrance, a couple of bad, sidekicks or super kicks, and a splash and some yeeting, and that's it. I mean, but that's okay. Hulk Hogan was 3 punches, the big boot, and the leg drop, and he was going to pose for 5 minutes after the match was over. So it's okay. It's got a place, but I don't think you should beat Gunther again the following Monday. I'm just saying. So that's me. That's me.
I don't know.
Goldberg's laughing because he's the next champ. Max Speed Chess. Please don't wish that into existence. Although I did see Goldberg is supposed to be around. Anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Does this one excite you?
No, it does not. I would much rather see Logan Paul and Cody in a match. I don't really care to see John Cena at this point. I mean, I was one that defended John Cena. He's a generational talent. You got Hogan, you got Austin, you got Cena, you got Roman. Those are the 4 generational talents since 1984 when Hulkamania was born. You can count Bruno before that too if you want. But that's your talents. And WWE thinks so too, because the last 3 people they show when they open the show with their new intro is Stone Cold, Cena, Roman. So I get that part. But John Cena has no business in a wrestling ring. Other than to say goodbye.
Here we go.
Other than to say goodbye.
So, all right, next match. Men's Money in the Bank, Seth Rollins, Grande Americano, Andrade, Penta, LA Knight.
Yeah.
Solo Sikoa.
Yeah, Solo Sikoa.
Sikoa.
Rikishi's son.
Wow.
One of Rikishi's sons. So does anybody actually think Seth Rollins wins this? And the reason I asked the question that way, Madusa, is he screwed CM Punk Monday out of the qualifying match. We saw AJ lose with that headbutt after the boys, Breaker and Bronson, had taken out Pepsi Phil at the direction of one Paul Heyman.
Oh, my God. I love you, Paul, but no.
Yeah, Paul is going to make Bronson. I don't know about Breaker, but Paul is going to make Bronson Reed. Anyway. So this is a shitty match if you're looking for star power. No offense to the mid-card guys, but it's Seth Rollins and it's everybody else. I think it's a red herring. CM Punk's going to get involved. Seth Rollins doesn't win. Or I mean, Seth Rollins does win, and when tries to cash in the briefcase, CM Punk screws him then.
For payback.
Because it's way too easy. If you're looking at this match on paper, there's no way Seth Rollins doesn't win this match. Multi-time world champion, intercontinental champion, tag team champion, favorite of Triple H, one of considered best workers in the world, and certainly the WWE. I don't know where you wouldn't put the title on him. Yo, Miller, you and me both, buddy. Where is Roman? That's what I want to know. They're saving him for SummerSlam. The tribal chief only does the big shows. That would be my answer. But Maria thinks LA Knight is winning. Seth losing will hurt the stable. That's fair. I believe that as well. Mass Speed Chess says Seth, and he picked Naomi for the women, but we're not there yet. But that's it, Deuce. It's like, it's so obvious because there's no offense to Penta. This is a ladder match. That's his shit. Andrade, what the hell are you doing here?
What?
Oh, he's terrible. He is terrible. I know he used to be Mr. Charlotte Flair, but he has not got any charisma, any heat, anybody behind him. Not a great wrestler. Not presented well. Then you got my coffee order, Grande Americano. And, I mean, you're going to put Money in the Bank on Chad Gable under a mask? And by the way, he's wrestling in AAA that same day or same weekend. So,
I don't know. This is just weird.
Yeah, it's a big-time letdown when you look at the women's match, which we're going to get to in a second. But you're the professional wrestler, the booker, the 40 years in the business. Who do you have win the match if it isn't Seth? And remember, the Money in the Bank briefcase is your contract to face the champion at any time.
Yeah, I know. And who's the champion again?
Your champions are John Cena and Jey Uso. With, remember, the funky thing, Gunther getting a title match the Monday after this show.
Yeah. So that ain't happening. Okay, so I know they really like Penta, and he's over. And Grande Americano, they're really starting to push him, right?
Yes, and he's from the Gulf of America, which I find hilarious.
Is that what they're billing him from?
Yeah, the Gulf of America.
That's hilarious.
Believe it.
Okay, so Solo and Seth, are they on good terms?
Solo is on SmackDown, and he and Seth don't really interact. But remember, the Bloodline have issues with Seth Rollins.
That's what I mean. Okay, so there's still some. So I'm thinking that Solo could go over on Seth.
With the spike? You think Punk is still a player in it, though, like I do? Or do you think it ends a different way?
Yeah, I think Punk may sit this one out, and I think it'll be a huge upset and just Solo go over on Seth in some fucked up way. That would be fucking cool because of the Bloodline. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Huh? Because no, you're right. Because the whole Roman screw job, and they're still all related.
Yes.
Even if they're not together at this point.
Yes. That would be kind of cool and interesting, and I don't think many people would see it. I think it would be almost a like a, oh my God, I can't believe LA Knight just did that. I think the first to go, well, it'd be really weird and upsetting to see LA Knight go first, which would be a shocker to everybody. But I think the reason why they put Andrade in there is to see, to see some more out of him, to see what he's got. You know what I mean?
Well, they've got the talent for the ladder match in Penta.
Yeah.
And in Gable, Grande Americano, Rollins can hold his own in a ladder match. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Andrade has experience in a ladder matches from his time in AAA. So they've got the players to have a ladder match.
Yeah. That's why I think it would be kind of wild to have. Isn't that something how I said LA Knight, losing first?
Believability possibilities, though. And this is one to a finish. So they get the briefcase is hanging over the ladder, and that's it. There's one fall to a finish.
Yeah.
But I think you're going to see some spectacle because, again, Penta is in this match and has made a living on these types of crazy matches.
That's why you're going to see some really good stuff between Americano and Penta up there. I mean, fucking amazing. So it could be, it could be, oof. Anyway, it'd be great. Yeah, I don't know. Solo over Rollins, I say. Let's see what happens.
Oh, I don't like it. I'm going with my man Rollins because he is represented by the one and only Paul.
Oh my God. Okay, whatever. Okay, women's Money in the Bank. All right, so you got
the fun one, guys. Get
Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Stephanie Vacour, whatever, and Naomi and Julia.
Yep. Fucking loaded. This is a loaded match. I don't know that she'll win, but Stephanie Valkyr is going to put Rhea Ripley in the Devil's Kiss, I think is what she calls that move. And the crowd is going to go bananas. The labia thing, you called it. Whatever you called that thing earlier, yeah.
The labia kiss. There's something, yeah.
He's going to put her in that move, and the crowd is going to go absolutely batshit crazy.
Man, when I first saw this, I thought the biggest thing that they could do is give it to Alexa Bliss.
Now, Alexa Bliss is a low-key dark horse in this one that would be believable.
Yes. I mean, the freaky shit that they could do with her. And they're all the same size except for Rhea. You know
Rhea's
what I mean?
the big woman in the match, yeah.
6 foot. So it's going to be all of them against her.
Yeah. So you're going to get the big woman spots. I mean, she's 6 foot, 200 pounds legit. And you've got, little Roxanne Perez.
Yeah.
And Julia.
Little Alexa.
Little Stephanie and Alexa.
But Naomi, you're going to go toe to toe here.
What was that movie, Willow, where they got the little brownie people tying them up? That's what it's going to look like. The little brownie tying up Rhea. Because
that's going to be interesting.
In all seriousness, those are some small women, but they're very athletic and they're very good professional wrestlers. But they just don't match up size-wise.
Yeah, I think this is the one that people are going to be interested. Everyone knows that the next match, Lyra and Becky, is that Becky's just here to put over the new talent for her because this is her kind of her baby coming from the same place. And it's just so it's already written out here. It's almost not exciting. You know what I mean? Because I feel like it's like Becky Lynch's protege. I mean, Lyra's protege, right?
Yes.
And it just almost feels forced. I don't know how else to put it. It's
on this one, I'm going to disagree with you, and I think Becky Lynch finally beats Lyra. I don't think she needs the women's Intercontinental title, but she finally beats Lyra. So Yo Miller
a double DQ. I don't know.
Oh, there you go. Yo Miller says Roxanne, she's getting the push. Mass Speech Chess is on your side. It's Naomi. If not, we riot. Fernando Zaya says Bailey interferes, costs Becky that match. Lyra goes to 3-0.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
Yeah, I just don't see him beating her 3 times, not beating Becky Lynch.
Huh. Well, that's what I mean. For Lyra to win, there's going to have to be an interference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way around that.
And I don't want to see, a Charlotte coming in. That's just all old textbook stuff. You know what I mean?
I think Charlotte's on her way out. If not, she should be.
Wait, what?
I think Charlotte's on her way out. If not, she should be. I didn't stutter, ma'am.
Why? She just
They
signed a
need to
new
do.
contract a
They
couple
need
years
to,
ago.
well, good for her. She can sit at home and collect because Triple H likes her daddy.
Triple H likes
Rick.
Okay, well then she's in there she's a lifer.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. If you're a Triple H person, a lot of times you are. People speculated that R-Truth was not a Triple H guy.
Oh, really? Oh.
Mm-hmm. Same with Carlito.
Oh. Huh. Well, I don't know. I think Lyra has good talent, but I would like, and if you take away Lyra away from Becky right now, she falls in the mix. She's just part of the word salad. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so right now, Becky is definitely elevating her. And she's doing her a favor by bringing up the new talent, by keep doing what she's doing. And I think that's part of Becky's legacy, is to do this before she finally finishes.
And Mass Speed Chest brings up the rule: if Lynch loses, she can no longer challenge for the title for as long as Valkyria is champion. If Valkyria loses, she will be forced to raise Lynch's hand and acknowledge Lynch. Lynch wins. I still believe Lynch wins. And Yo Miller says, I believe Charlotte has fallen down a few rungs. Tiffany was supposed to be the heel, but now she's the face. Yeah, it's a different dynamic. They also, speaking of athletic blondes, Deuce, that we admire and watch, Mariah May introduced on NXT as a babyface.
Yeah, we said that. We talked about that, about her new name.
Yeah, but she wasn't a heel, is what I'm saying. She's a babyface. Her last work is the psychotic, whatever they called her.
Yeah.
Maria or Fernando, help me out. They called her something.
Mariah May?
Yeah, they had a name for her in AEW. It was the Glamour, but there was a different name for her, something about her psychosis. But anyway, Mariah debuts last night as a babyface. So they're not afraid to use Mariah May.
She can speak on the mic pretty well. I mean, so far. She did sound a little heelish, though.
Here's the thing about Mariah May. She should bend or have Toni Storm bend over and kiss her ass, because without Toni Storm, Mariah May would not be in the position she's in.
Hell no. Hell no, she wouldn't be. That whole run made her, because she couldn't do much before that.
She's like the something from hell, Fernando. I just can't remember what they called her. But they gave her some nickname. Yeah, the something from hell. But anyway, the whole thing with Mariah, though, is WWE is going to treat her as a babyface. She's probably more of a natural heel, but based on the alignment of NXT and the way that they're the woman from hell. Thank you, Solid Snake. They call her the woman from hell, Madusa, Mariah May. Now, her and Tony took some risks in AEW that Tony Khan will allow them to do. In WWE, you're not going to see the bloodbaths and that sort of stuff that you saw in AEW. I don't believe.
Oh, babe. So Mariah and everybody, all the talent over there, all the talent in WWE and talent everywhere. I just want to talk about their choosing of their gear. Now, I know they have say in the colors they like, what they want to do, what they want to wear, their character and stuff like that. And I know they have endless, streams, seamstresses over in WWE, and then they have some over in AEW. And I mean, I've worked with a few seamstresses, and the stuff that I've done since I've come back, I've gone to one company and I absolutely love them, and it's Main Event Gear. He's made up all of my stuff that you've seen, like since I went back with WWE and I did the whole Evolution stuff. And the AEW outfit when I first came on, all of the newer stuff, my referee outfit was all by Main Event Gear. So, and I know it's pricey. You know what I mean? And Robert, the gentleman over there, he's just what a wonderful man. I get along with him really well. And the gear that he puts out for some of this talent is fucking amazing. Not only being a wrestler himself, but he found himself that he needed gear. So he just made and forced himself to start sewing. And then he absolutely grew an empire. So this is a great story. And the reason why I'm getting to this is we're talking about, people change and go into different platforms and stuff. And I'm like, God, you have all of this gear you spend all this money on in one way, and then you got to go and change it up for another. And it gets expensive because you have to buy your own gear. You have to buy your own gear. And unless you're a superstar and it's in your contract that they pay for it, which is rare, that shit is expensive. I know I spoke to Natty one time and oh my God, tens and thousands of dollars, spent on gear. It's insane. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So watching, from, God, you see some of this. I just can't believe. Anyway, Mariah May is who we were talking about. So switching over, it was kind of like, she was like is it an all white? Was she always in white? I believe it was.
Mm-hmm. It was the angelic innocent look. She was definitely in white. It was a psychological fuck because Tony was always in black. The opposites. It's all about psychology.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's not start talking conspiracies. I mean, come on.
Oh, please. Whatever.
I'll be here.
So anyway, big kudos to all the seamstresses out there that make all these outfits, because I know they bust their ass. I know you have, what's her name that just busts her ass for Cody.
Sandra.
Her name is Sandra. Incredible. Sandra was around back in my day.
That man right there is the one who designs it, and Sandra sews it.
JD Hoop?
The man who did your backgrounds, he designs Cody's gear. The Street Profits gear. He's done Lashley. Really? Lashley, Benjamin.
JD Hoop, you do some good shit.
He does, he does Cody's gear. He did Cody's WrestleMania gear, and Sandra sewed it.
Wow. I know, like, some of my old gear.
Oh, LA Knight. He does LA Knight's gear, too.
He does LA Knight as well? Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow.
And if you guys like the logos for Paving the Way and Trash Talk, that was our man, JD Hoop.
JD Hoop as well, guys. God, I feel lucky. Thanks, JD. You're the man.
Very talented individual.
Wow. And I feel so lucky.
And a very nice man.
Yeah.
Genuinely nice person. Like, better than the rest of us. Nice person.
Oh, JD, what made you get into this business?
I don't know, but he's creative. Very creative. But yeah, he does the designs for the stars. He and his partner Rod, and they're business partners, and Sandra does the sewing.
Unfucking believable.
So Cody's WrestleMania robe he wore against
Cena,
done by the board. And Sandra.
Who does Charlotte's robes? Is it Olivia? No, Olivia's not with us anymore.
Olivia's deceased, isn't she?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who does her robes? Good Lord.
They're very similar to Olivia Walker, but obviously not Olivia.
Because Rick would have his done by her.
Yep. Yeah. And the sequencing and the beads and the diamonds.
I had one robe made by her. Oh my fucking God. Thousands of dollars. And then it got stolen. Oh my God. Okay.
Solid Snake must be behind. I don't know.
Do what?
Must be behind on the stream. Solid Snake must be behind on the stream. He says, bro, I know the whole AEW lore. Haha. I'm a huge fan. Matter of fact, watching it now. Ospreay is the man. he rocks, dude, brings fight. That's true, but he's not the god of pro wrestling. And as long as Kenny Omega is in the AEW,
yeah,
number 2.
I will fight on that. Let's fight.
Yeah, number 2. But yeah, so you're right though. All of the stuff that they do, the ornate things. Oh, and JD did Jade's gear too. Jade Cargill. He also did Roman's gear.
You're shitting me.
I'm dead serious. I ain't making any of this up. And he won't ever brag about it, so the rest of us have
He's not even answering me like, oh, hey, JD, when did you get in and how and why did you? He's like, nope, not even getting in there.
Not talking to this woman tonight. She's crazy.
Yeah, bring it up.
I've met him in person.
Well, where does he live?
Arizona.
I was going to say, shit, if he was by us, we should all get together.
He may be, but most of the time he goes to WrestleCade.
Oh, so you won't be at the gathering, JD?
Maybe not. And JD, if you're going to be in Iowa, Madusa will be there. She's getting the Luthez Award.
Yeah, we need to talk. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I need to get with JD. JD, you have my deets, right? Maybe he does or doesn't. Maybe Red, you can give it to him. But
yeah,
I've got a project that I'm going to be doing. Red, I need to speak to you about it too. It's going to be cool. But yeah, because it would be great to get some of your thoughts. And Mortis, I just saw. Thank you for the graphic for Paving the Way. I will use that for next week or all the time. I never did put it out. Thank you. So sorry. He goes, I got pulled into gear from doing merch and podcasts. What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did all the thumbnail arts and all that stuff too. He did Jim Ross's show. He did Mick Foley's show.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah. Yep. That's how it all started.
Yep.
Isn't it crazy how all that just starts?
Marcus introduced us. What a thing, huh?
Marcus, I just spoke to him the other day.
By the way, guys, we're celebrating the year of Big Red and Madusa. It's been a year.
Really?
We lasted longer than the Dangerous Alliance. Even with me saying,
ma'am, sir, sir,
if I may, ma'am,
if I may, sir,
if I may, ma'am.
That's so good.
I couldn't help it. I mean, it was right there.
It was right
Paul,
there.
I'm wearing Yankees today. See?
Oh God, you too. Do you believe that we talked about the whole show and there we are long-winded again? It's already 2.5 hours, whatever the fuck.
Scarsdale. Yeah, well, that's what we do here.
That's what we do.
Nobody that watches this show or listens to us expects it to be 30 minutes an hour.
We should try that one time.
Nobody would believe it happened.
We'd still be sitting there going, well.
They would think we would have an inning. And somebody brought this up. I see Solid Snake. I bought the Jumping Bomb Angel shirt. The dude who is their translator brought to me in person, doing with signed photos. The Jumping Bomb Angels. You got to see Leilani Kai on Saturday night's main event, Madusa.
I know. I was so happy for her. When I saw Leilani sitting there, my heart, I just wanted to cry because she loves this business. She's one of the legends that eat, breathes, sleeps wrestling until this day. And she was in it before I was. So she was the one that I would look up to. She's the one I wrestled at WrestleMania 10. She's the one that, helped put me over in WCW. Her and I have crossed the paths so many years. And I am the biggest Leilani Kai and Judy Martin fan and the Jumping Bomb Angels fans. I've been pushing for those 4 to get into the Hall of Fame for how long? Like fucking 10 years, as long as I've been in the damn Hall of Fame. Like, why aren't these people? I felt guilty. Like, I apologized to Leilani for going in before her. I felt so inappropriate. I thought, this is inappropriate. Why aren't they in? Why am I going in before these guys? That's how I thought. Like, this isn't right. I mean, they set the standard in WrestleMania. I believe it was 1, right? Were they in WrestleMania 1 with the Jumping Bomb Angels?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It was the Jumping Bomb Angels. Yes, they were.
Yeah.
Because they were Japanese wrestlers that nobody knew who the hell they were.
Yeah.
And they weren't old ass Moolah in her $1 million man ripped off gear.
Wendy Richter is in the Hall of Fame. Yes. Yes, she is.
And Wendy was a great wrestler as well.
Yeah, and when she's another one that, that's another whole story that set the standard and should have got we won't even get into it, but again, didn't get paid or wasn't treated even a quarter of what she was worth back then. So, there's that. So to wrap up this wonderful, wonderful podcast of Paving the Way with myself and Red, I cannot, and we cannot thank you enough for tuning in, staying around as long as you guys did, in and out intermittently. And we try to make it consistent and regular, but with schedules, we do get here at least 2 times a month.
The
At
good
least.
news is,
Huh?
and I know you're wrapping us up, but hold on,
Yes.
because we're going to will this into existence.
Oh.
The good news is, oh shoot. I say the good news is, I believe I am off the 24th, and I know I am off the 10th. So the 10th is our usual next Tuesday.
The 10th, huh?
Okay. If you're available.
Oh, we do this each time. We sit here and look at our schedules. Let's see.
I keep everything in the calendar now because I'm old.
Oh my God.
I'm getting old. I'm off Saturday.
You're not old. Okay, so you want to do the 10th?
Yes. Well, we can, because if we don't, it will be probably the 24th before we can do it again, because we don't usually do a Friday thing on the 20th.
Right.
So next week,
so we'll do the 10th.
Short turnaround, but Money in the Bank will have happened. And, I can watch the AEW and put some notes in there for us and send you some relevant things. Yeah.
We'll do the 10th and the 24th.
Well, we can do at least the 10th, and the 24th, I believe, would work too. That's a Tuesday as well.
Okay. All right.
We can definitely do the 10th. If the 24th doesn't work, we'll switch it.
Okay, so people were tuning in on the 10th, and then maybe the 24th.
Yeah, be 8:00. Maybe we find some trash to talk on the 10th. Who knows? This was Paving the Way.
Oh, yeah, because we'll gear up, because by then we'll have everything.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we will, and JD has my cell phone number, Madusa.
Thank
He's one of your listeners who have my cell phone number.
Okay.
So, JD knows how to get a hold of me.
Okay, good.
Not that I wouldn't give it to other people, but he has it already. So anyway, I give it to everyone buys a car from me. I don't care. If you become a jerk off, I'm just going to block your number.
I even give your number out to
you did give my number out, and I did get a communication.
We'll keep that personal, but we'll see how it goes. Okay.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. What was I going to say to you, though, in all seriousness? Everybody be careful. New scams are out for the toll roads, and apparently people are now ordering iPhones on Amazon, and if you call back the number, they're going to try to trap you. I got 2 scams today, so that's free advice.
What?
Oh, yeah.
I know the toll things.
But they're trying to
you
glitch
owe
you.
Tolls, and you're gonna get your license revoked. And you have a ticket or whatever the shit is.
Me and the 2 other finance managers I work with got the same exact text message today about the toll thing.
Oh,
swear to God, it wasn't right at the same time, but we all got the text message. So
anyway. I just kind of go delete.
Be on alert, guys, because if you owe the government money, they will not text you. It will come in writing. I'm just
exactly. They will never fucking call you either. They will write you first.
Yeah, and it will be a very tersely worded letter where they say, "Hey, bitch, you owe me $50. If not, I'm revoking your driver's license."
Oh my God.
And it'll have, in my case, the state of North Carolina and all that stuff on there.
Oh dear.
Not a text message. Don't fall for that crap.
Oh no. Even the emails look, they look real. You got to be careful. Some of these companies will not force you to pay anything or tell you owe, unless you owe a creditor and it's from a credit card or something. Still, I would double, triple check that too. But I mean, everything's a fucking scam.
Yeah, everybody, just be careful. That was all I was saying as Madusa's trying to wrap us up because it's stupid. I mean, people are stupid these days in
I hate
2025.
dumb people. People are just dumb.
Yeah.
No common sense people.
Yeah.
All right.
That
All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you for a great 2.5 hours. Red, you were fantastic. You were mean to your dogs, and we'll punch you in the head when I see you.
she's deaf. Star was not mean to her.
She's deaf. Now he's gonna blame it on because she's deaf. Do you not know sign language or two?
The dog does not understand sign language. But no, she really is. She's 12 and she has seriously lost her hearing.
Oh,
And so,
I
like,
would have selective hearing around you too. Just saying.
You do already, ma'am.
Oh, listen, sir, I can't wait till I fucking see you. I can give you the biggest hug. I can't wait.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome.
It
August the
is.
1st and 2nd in Charlotte, guys. Come see Deuce 10 to 2.
You just need to
I
come
will take
see
your
us.
photo.
We got to do a live segment. We really need to figure this out.
Well, you better call somebody because we have to have permission to do those sort of things. And you're the star. I'm just the facilitator.
Whatever. All right, we gotta make this fucking happen. Okay, my dear. All right, guys. We will. I'll see you on the 10th.
On the 10th. See you
All right.
guys. Thank you.